Hello and welcome to the energy forecast for July 2015. I'm filming today in Mill Valley in Marin County among the redwood trees, and redwoods, if you ever have the chance to experience them, are incredible beings. They're like guardians. They're so ancient and so powerful, so being down here among them feels perfect for today. Part of the reason I wanted to come here is because when I tuned in on this month, the words collective exhale came up as an energy theme. Collective exhale in July, meaning the intensity of the first 6 months of the year have been powered through, and for all of us this month there is an opportunity to just the out breath, and while you're in the out breath you get to integrate and consolidate everything that has gone before, every part of you that has changed as a result and been influenced, ready for where we are going next, because strength and fire inside you are going to be very big themes for the second half of the year. So I'll touch on that in a moment, but first to come back to this idea of consolidation. For those of you who are pulling your hair out at me right now going, there's no way I can take an out breath, there's no way I can consolidate anything, you're the very people who really need to take space, slow down, stop answering the phone to everybody, do whatever it is that you need to do to calm down, because this first 6 months of this year have been faster and more intense than ever before. There is a mass awakening going on, and there is an activation of our Kundalini energy in all of us, which I'll come to in a moment. So you have to just take the time wherever you can to calm your own nervous system down so that it gets used to going in and out of this new speed. For those of you who are actually either doing quite well within yourselves or are beginning to feel that natural slowing down happening, July really represents an opportunity to consolidate everywhere you have been, everything you've been going through. So many of you have spoken about the crazy dreams or exes or old friends or old people from your past popping up in your life in the last few months. And this is the month where that stimulus and impetus can calm down, and you can get to open out your heart, open out your mind, and see how do you feel now and how do you think about these old things now. Because it has really changed for everybody on Earth in the last 6 months. So even if you tried to remember how you felt last December, it will be hard for you to actually get in touch with how last December felt, because so much has shifted. And we can be chaotic in our journeys, as in we just get pushed around, pulled from pillar to post, as we like to say in England, without really any sense of where we're going or why anything is happening to us. But the more you wake up to the reality that energy is dictating everything that's happening to you, and you start to open up your senses so that you can feel that energy moving through you, feel that energy coming toward you, the more you open up to energy being a part of every day, the more you can start to consciously direct what it is you're doing, where it is you're going, and what it is you would like to manifest next. This is a foreign concept to people who have never thought that way, but to more and more people on Earth, this is becoming normal. You see it being normalized in everyday conversations. So how do you know you're a clear manifester? You need to consolidate what's in you. So by consolidation, I mean sitting and reflecting on everything that's happened for you, sitting and journaling on where you would like to go next, taking a moment to consolidate where you've been so that you very clearly decide where you would like to go next. There is no such thing as a wrong goal. Sometimes people will say to me, oh, well, I'd like to manifest this for myself, but when the world is suffering, I'm challenged by manifesting this for myself. And usually the two things can coexist. So if somebody wants to manifest something that makes them feel more secure in life, but they feel bad about that because they recognize other people are in more insecure positions, both of those energies are true for you. It means you would like to be humanitarian and help others as much as you can, but you're also going to still have this energy or this desire that you want to feel a little more secure, whatever that means for you. So if you work on both at the same time, or just focus on your desire for you, you will get to a place where your openness will just be that much more because you've manifested that secure element for yourself, which then allows you to go over here and be more humanitarian towards others. So we live in a dualistic world, and dualistic thoughts are very high at the moment, more so than ever before. Again, if you're an aware or an awake person, it won't surprise you to notice how quickly you're going through feelings or perceptions on a daily basis. And remember, you're not regressing when you go backwards in your own perception. The idea that you're going over an old issue or an old idea. This is part of the journey of evolution that we all go through. And I released a new video, an A to Z of energy video this month called You're Not Regressing, You're Evolving. So you might want to check that out. We can put a link to that here for you so that you can check that out if that would help. So take this month as much as you can to create space to consolidate, exhale, take the space to decide where would you like to go in your personal life in the next 6 months, and also what would you like to see changing for and in the world for the next 6 months. I spoke last month about one step forward, one step back, one step sideways being very much the world energy of June. And we did see that playing out on the global stage too. There were some acts of progression, there were some acts of regression, and there were some sideways energies that none of us saw coming on the world stage and in our personal lives. July definitely is a lot more spacious. Energy can only remain intense for a certain amount of time before it either fizzles out or explodes, and this is definitely a month of space. But within all of that, there is this strong message that I keep receiving about more mainstream Kundalini activation now happening. So Kundalini energy is essentially a life force energy, and the base or the root chakra is the center in which we have our creative, our sexual, and our life force energy. And often in modern society, I find we all tend to be living much more up here than down there in our base. And with spiritually developed people, there can be a tendency to be heart open and throat chakra communication, third eye open, and crown chakra connection above the head to spirit, whether it's through meditation or channeling or just a sense of a connection to the divine. It can tend to exist here, but we often don't go down below that, and that's the next phase in general for the world in its awakening. A lot has been done, if you like, over the last 10 years or so to rapidly develop expression of communication, understanding of senses and intuition, and the opening of the heart. That's becoming much more prevalent everywhere. But the next phase is to go down and purify through the stomach and activate that base. The stomach is where our human relationships are, so many of you will have a sensitivity or a withdrawal from many relationships in the next few months while you go through this Kundalini activation, because you won't want to play it out through fighting with others. Creative partnerships, sexual partnerships, and anything that feels like a potent tribal energy, whether you're dancing with a group, anything that has a wildness in the body, an expression in the body, there will be some really cosmic experiences to be had in the next few months that some of you will go through windows you've never opened for yourself through the body. But coupled with that, the ultimate aim of the life force awakening that is Kundalini is to get you to a place where all systems are go and all systems are open. So it's pretty big stuff, and it's not something that you want to go into naively or in any great hurry, because it takes time for the body to learn to withstand having such an open, vital life force. And it also takes time for you as a human being with your thoughts and perceptions about how safe am I to be me in the world? Will I be judged? Will people attack me? Will people not like me as much? To go through all of that programming to allow yourself to become who you want to be or are to be next, regardless of all of the people around you and how they may or may not react to it. So This awakening in the base chakra will show up for you in very potent ways. Creativity, and also acts around physical, either action, exercise, sexuality. There will be an awakening of an energy and a life force in you that you will be able to privately explore. Most of you, some of you will explore it in partnership. But there is also a sense that from September onwards, this energy that the mainstream are now opening over the summer will start to go out into the world and be a part of this wave of change, the innovations and the creativity that we're seeing in the world to bring positive change. So it's nothing to be afraid of, but a little like pregnancy. The pregnant mother and also the father with his pregnant wife or girlfriend tend to be very protective of the mother's body and sensitivity during that phase in order to make sure that the baby is also protected. So think of it that way. You're giving birth to your creative fire, to your sexual fire, to your life force fire, and all of these things will rise through you. And traditionally, when people are unconscious of these energies, or they don't really know what's going on, they will fight each other, they will argue with each other, they will let that energy run into their life in ways that can be destructive or chaotic. So, it's the kind of person who walks into a room and everyone knows they're there, not only because of the way they hold themselves, but because they move around that room and impact everybody and perhaps even the furniture. That's kind of Kundalini energy that is not centered and not run through the body, that's kind of playing out in a destructive or invasive way in the outside world. So you'll certainly see some of that flying around, but we've seen that flying around for quite a while because, of course, this energy has been developing for quite some time. But the good news is that July gives you an invitation to have much more space around how you bring that into your life, and also for the very intuitive among you, to start to recognize and feel that your inner body is feeling very different. And there is a reason that the inner body is feeling different. We can live here if we like, and it will sustain us so far, and it will give us more open relationships, more open communication, and that's all well and good. But when we extend it down to the base and the root chakra, when we invite the awakening to go all the way through the full body, miraculous changes happen in our outer world. And miraculous changes are what we're needing right now on the planet as a whole. And so in tandem with those, we're also being invited to go through those as individuals in order for us to help create those miraculous changes. So we're coming into the second half of 2015 where Kundalini energy is going to be very strong, and many people will experience spontaneous awakenings. So if you do have any strange experiences in your garden, in your house, just sit, breathe for a second. Tell yourself, I am safe. I can receive this energy. And also remember, you're in charge of the volume dial. Often with spirituality, we can feel that we are the victim of a spiritual or psychic experience that happens to us. And what we must remember is that we can collaborate with spirit, and you can say, I ask that this calm down now. I ask that I have a few days of peace. Remember to ask that of your personal experiences, as well as asking for help from angels or guidance or guides, whatever name you give it. So, we're still here, everybody. We're still here on planet Earth, one day at a time, one step at a time, but there is a very strong sense of an opening and a peace energy that is stronger than ever before, that if you really make sure that you are not being overstimulated and you are being a guardian of giving yourself to those moments in your life, you will feel it. It will infuse you. It will magnetically connect you to the right people at the right time. And in the interim periods, for the hedonists among you, and I can relate to that, it's fun to always be in joy and bliss, but for the hedonists among you, those times will probably be peppered with a time where you need to sit and just remember a difficult situation. So you might have a great career opportunity and you're really amazed that's happening. And as you have that happen, a few hours later, you might suddenly go back to the time that you had your biggest career heartbreak that you've been working through the layers of. Because they're connected, when you open in one direction, the part of you that closed down in the past gets stretched and it comes up. And the more aware we become, the more we feel these things, the more we think these things, the more we see these things. Don't go to self-judgment. Catch yourself if you self-judge. Self-judgment is just great awareness. Think of it that way. If you catch yourself being self-judging, in the past, you would have been unconscious of that self-judgment. You would have stopped yourself doing something because you felt that self-judgment. If now you're just disappointed that you caught yourself self-judging, you're absolutely heading in the right direction. Hold the awareness, laugh at it, let it go. There's no need to judge yourself, just like there's no need to judge anyone else. Everyone, including you, is doing your absolute best. So, great to be with you all from the Redwoods, and I have a couple of events coming up. In London, I will be doing an energy tune-up evening and a meet and greet, and that's on Wednesday, August the 12th. So if you'd like to check that out, you can click here. And in September, and I apologize, I forget the dates, but I think it's the 19th of September, I will be at a channelers conference, channeling as one of 8 channelers, and that's in Los Angeles, and you can click here to check that out. So until next month, everybody, you can check out all my offerings in the portal, which we've just redesigned and relaunched. So if you'd like to check the portal out, there will be a click to it on the next screen. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.